California getting yet another hard lesson in economics. The state implemented a $20 minimum wage for fast food workers in April. That was April of 2024. A little over 1 year later, it's estimated that the state has hemorrhaged, get this, 18,000 jobs. The complete opposite of the employment trends across the rest of the country. I said this before COVID when they were advocating for $15 minimum wage, and then during COVID when wages did go up because we saw such massive inflation, that if the price of your Big Mac meal, and that's what an average person can buy for lunch, is $15, but they're making $15 an hour, then you sort of defeat the purpose of the higher wage. California took it to the next level, to the point where businesses then couldn't be competitive and they had to lay people off. Lou.
Yeah, I mean, you said it in your intro, a hard lesson in economics. We knew what was going to happen, and yet they willfully went forward. This is a math problem. It's a math equation that can be easily solved before you put into place a really bad policy. Beyond having to lay people off, businesses leave and flee states that require higher minimum wages. We need to, remember, it's a minimum wage. It's not supposed to be a living wage, and I think those are the distinctions. We need to provide a pathway, training, opportunities to get people from those jobs into the next level.
Did you hear what he just said?
I think those are the distinctions. We need to provide a pathway, training, to lay people off. Businesses leave and flee states that require higher minimum wages. We need to, remember, it's a minimum wage. It's not supposed to be a living wage, and I think those...
It's a minimum wage, not a living wage. So basically a lot of young people, but a lot of uneducated adults as well, do not understand this. They think, minimum wage, I'm able to support myself, have my lavish life that I want, complain about why I'm not where I want to be because I'm getting paid this minimum wage job. Why don't I have what I want? You can't just stop there. That's not the point of the way this system of government works, the way capitalism works. You have to keep striving. If you want to make yourself in a position where you want to have lavish things, great things, you can't work at McDonald's and expect these things. And it really pissed me off, coming from an area in California where it wasn't a great city in the sense of, everybody's living a lavish lifestyle. But when you go down these ghetto streets on some neighborhoods, you pass by, houses that don't upkeep their landscape. They don't take care of their house. Their door and their windows are falling apart. There's bullet holes on their houses on some of them. And then you look at their driveway and they're driving a 2025 Mustang or just something new on their driveway. Okay, well, that shows the type of priorities people have. And those particular people that buy, nice vehicles and live in a trash can, those are the ones that are all about caring about what people think of them. Because they need to make sure that when they drive and they go to these places, they want to be seen like they're living the life. And that's not a good thing to encourage your kids. If you're a parent, you should be teaching your kids, hey, work your tail off. Get yourself a nice home. Even if you have a piece of crap car, work your way there. It takes time. It takes steps. People jump the gun nowadays and they just try to get the next best thing because everybody else is doing it.
Those are the distinctions. We need to provide a pathway, training, opportunities to get people from those jobs into the next level where it is higher wages, not force the bottom up and force businesses to bear the brunt of it because
exactly.
They can't. Yeah, and yesterday we talked about In-N-Out Burger not wanting to stay in California or its headquarters.
And, you've seen so much business move to the south, to Texas. You've seen Florida take off, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. All of these states have lower costs of labor, and they're very popular with employers, and there's a good reason for it. I just see this trend continuing and not going away.
Well, the minimum wage crowd has this weird habit of always wanting to use the stick of the minimum wage to bring people's pay up. And they always seem to be the least cognizant people that there are other ways to get that work done if you back a business into a corner. It's like we talk about AI every day. We talk about technology every day. They refuse to accept that if you if you price out businesses from their workers, businesses will hire technology. That's what happens. Like some of these, there may be some restaurant closures in California, but actually what they're doing is we see this everywhere. It's kiosks. So like what you've done with you can raise the minimum wage and put people out of work, or you can support pro-growth policies and give businesses an incentive that's sustainable to hire new workers and train them up. But the left loves coercion more than they love the outcome they're seeking, which is a better life for workers.
And let me tell you something, now that I have an opportunity. I get very annoyed at the kiosks because sometimes they don't work and you still need a human to fix them, but there's only one human and there's 50 kiosks or 50 self-checkout. You just cannot replace humans, even in the most simple ways.
That's exactly right. And
I like to add to that because the biggest thing that pisses me off is anytime I call a 1-800 number, or if I have to call some type of customer service for something, I call and the first thing I hear is press 1 for this, press 2 for this, press 532 for this. I can't sit here all day listening to a robot giving me options of who I need to connect with. I should be able to call a phone number, connect with a live human being, and say, hey, human being, I want to connect with this so-and-so. Okay, we're transferring you now. Bam. Done deal. Instead, we have to deal with a lot of these robots, and I blame it on the Democratic left mindset. Because these are the people that bitch and complain about not getting raises, minimum wage needs to be higher. Okay, well, if it needs to be higher, your performance needs to be higher. See, that's why a lot of these businesses pick up and leave California or leave certain areas, places. It's not just California, it's all over the country. Where businesses, they're like, okay, we're being forced to raise our minimum wage, so we don't even want to pay people anymore. Because we can't fully depend on lazy people that aren't really committed to doing these positions. So we're going to create this AI program or this machine to do the work for us, and we're going to be saving some money. And that's one thing that a lot of businesses in California, when they pick up and leave California, it's because they don't have that option. They're like, okay, we are forced to basically lose more money out of our pocket because of the outrage of politics and how the economy is in California, led by the governor, that could make some change or differences. All this money that's been pumped to California, nobody knows where it's at. It's already been declared. They've already asked Gavin Newsom, where is all that money that was supposed to go towards homelessness? They couldn't even answer that. Oh, we don't know. Nobody's keeping track of this. You guys got tons of money. What do they say? I made a video on this a while back, how they got billions of dollars to solve the homeless problem or create programs and housing for them to motivate them to come back into society. None of that happened. Instead, homelessness actually got worse in California. So what does that tell you? That tells you that in California, it's a shit show. And a Republican needs to take over that state to clean it up, or else it won't just be continue to be a garbage can of a state. It's gonna be literally a pile of shit. And if that's where people want to live, that's where people want to live. Enjoy your nice sunny skies, smelling dog shit right next to you and human shit on the other side. But this is why we need competent, good leaders, and it all falls on that. So I'm not surprised that California, they're going to be learning this hard lesson. And the citizens of California, you know, the ones that don't care about politics, it's going to be affecting you. So don't complain. Don't complain because you don't care, remember? But if you do care, start educating yourself. Start actually voting and recall your governor. That's all I got to say on this matter. I've spoke way too much about California and the governor. I'm actually really sick of it, but there's more things that are coming out that have to do with it, and it's because of things that we hoped it would work out for, like this California minimum wage increase that ended up backfiring. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Till next time. Peace out, everybody.